We've had some amazing villains over the course of Pokemon's history. Team Magma and Team Aqua were some of the most iconic, but Ether Paradise was genuinely what a villain group should be. Absolutely terrifying. But none of the villains even come close to the most beloved group in all of Pokemon. And of course, I'm talking about Team Rocket, or more specifically, this Team Rocket. From being a part of every single Pokemon series ever and being some of the funniest characters in all of Pokemon, this group of villains were by far some of the most loved characters in not only Pokemon, but in all kinds of fictional media. They've been around for ages and were a huge part of our childhood. But for some of the new people who join Pokemon, or for some people who don't feel the same way towards these bunch, you might be wondering, why are these characters loved by so many? My name is Pokey, and in today's video, we answer the big question: why was Team Rocket so popular? To really grasp on why people loved these characters so much, we have to understand how much they were actually loved to begin with. People would go so far as to make literal memes after the conclusion of Pokemon Journeys, and more so about Team Rocket's departure rather than Ash's. This might shock some of you, but to me and some of the other people in the community, I completely see where they're coming from. So first and foremost, let me give these legendary characters a proper introduction before explaining why they became so popular to begin with. So Team Rocket is a giant organization and is run by Mafia boss Giovanni. Team Rocket has several minor groups that branch off of the main Team Rocket to do their shenanigans. One of these groups happened to be this one. Pink hair was called Jesse, blue hair was called James, and then there was a literal talking Meowth called, well, Meowth. Now, what separated this group from the rest of Team Rocket was the fact that they were both incredibly flashy and eccentric, but were also kind of dumb, which made them our main comedic relief factor within the entirety of Pokemon. Now, you might be wondering, how are some dumb comedic relief characters that are essentially doing the classic GoofCon villain group cliche so liked, and how were they not annoying? Although you bring up a valid question, they weren't as annoying as you'd think, and here's why. Back in Indigo League, they were obviously not hated since most of us were freaking kids, and even now they still aren't as annoying since the comedy in Indigo League was very unhinged. Since, you know, television back then was really out of pocket. I mean, we've seen old Ash before.
But you see, this camera is my life. Get yourself a new...
So their dialogue wasn't irritating at all. The thing that made Team Rocket also stand out was that they had many layers other than just being a comedic relief group. They actually had proper character backgrounds and weren't just made with nothing. Jesse and James both parallel each other, with James coming from a rich family who abandoned them due to a forced marriage, while Jesse was living in poverty after her mother presumably died. Both characters had a very rough childhood, which gives a bit more depth to their characters and how they ended up being in Team Rocket and wanting to make Giovanni proud. So even if you found them somewhat annoying within the first few series of Pokemon, you could honestly still feel bad for them. On top of all of that, they also had something that separated themselves from not just Team Rocket, but also the entire show. That being Meowth, a Pokemon capable of talking in full human speech. Now, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole and explain why Meowth is able to talk. You guys can talk about it in the comments if you'd like. But Meowth being able to talk helped Team Rocket become much more fun to watch because they had something you couldn't find anywhere else with the other characters. Meowth being able to communicate with other Pokemon created a bunch of both funny and sad moments down the line, like iconic scenes such as the Mimikyu scene and of course the female Meowth incident. Their trio was quite literally perfect, but I'd be lying if I said it didn't become a little stale after a while. Now, they were for sure not boring at the start of the series, from Indigo League up until the end of Johto Journeys. But from Advanced onwards, I could definitely understand how people would have started to get bored of this group since we didn't get much development for them other than 1 to 2 episode specials for them specifically. It felt like the same old Team Rocket over and over again. Now, a lot of people like to say that Team Rocket peaked in Black and White, but after the absolute abomination they did to Anne in Team Plasma Story from the games, I don't even think I would agree with some of the writing choices from that series. But when all hope was lost, Team Rocket did something that would shock the entire Pokemon community. They did something good. I know, shocking. And by that, I mean legit helping saving the entire planet. By the end of the XYZ series, Team Flare overtook Kalos, and Team Rocket was actually helping our heroes and filming the entire thing to help boost morale towards our heroes. They would even speak out on some of the horrible things Team Flare was doing and kind of bullying them on several occasions. Not to mention, seeing them win against Team Flare's grunge showed how much we've underestimated their battling capabilities. I mean, just think about it for a sec. The whole reason we keep seeing them lose is because they are facing Ash and other random powerful trainers. They are fighting some of the strongest trainers in the freaking series. So it's no wonder we always see them lose. So for them to actually fight alongside the hero team was actually both refreshing and just straight up wholesome to watch. It showed how much humanity they had in them and how they actually viewed the world around them. Not to mention Wobbuffet, which was actually the fourth partner in this group, was actually showing how much of a menace it was. It kept spamming Mirako throughout the entirety of the XYZ anime, which I thought was really funny. Wobbuffet really helped round this team out since we got to see an actual battle, and it gave Meowth a friend, which is really nice. It just felt like something we never asked for, but very much appreciated. Also, if you're enjoying the video so far, it would mean a lot to me if you subscribe. You don't have to, of course. It means so much that you took some time to watch this video already. Subscribing is merely a kind gesture. But anyways, back to the video. XYZ gave Team Rocket much needed character development, which sparked everyone's interest in the characters once again. But it didn't stop there. Towards the beginning of of Sun and Moon, we got the new but very mixed animation and art style change. Now, although we can agree that Ash may not have benefited from this change, I can proudly say that Team Rocket certainly did. The animation and art style change made the characters feel so much more bouncy and alive every time they were on screen. The facial expressions and animated gestures were just so on point. And to top it all off, the combination between Team Rocket and Beware was a very fun addition, given that Beware for some odd reason is incredibly powerful. Like, bro would just straight up be boxing against Ultra Beast like they're nothing. It was fairly humorous. Not to mention the dynamic between Mimikyu and Meowth were phenomenal episodes and showed more of that kind side from Meowth. Because Meowth can talk and communicate with both Pokemon and people, you can understand him and other Pokemon so much better. He's also so much more empathetic when it actually counts. This all didn't change in Journeys either. The animation and art style change greatly affected the characters in a much better way. But a grave issue was made within Journeys itself that hindered the characters greatly. That was the fact that they didn't have any actual new partners in Journeys. Part of what made Team Rocket special was the bond they made with their partners in their new journey. The fact that we didn't get 2 new partners felt very underwhelming and a very much missed opportunity for sure. There was more Peko, but I feel like he was just a worse Beware, if you know what I mean. And with the conclusion of the Journey series and Ash finally beating Leon, their time was officially up. Fans across the globe were devastated, not just because of Ash's retirement, but the characters that have been here since the very beginning. Villains on the outside for sure, but when the world was in peril, they would be the ones to step into the fight against the great evil. Because at the end of the day, they're villains, not monsters. But guys, what do you think of Team Rocket? Do you love them? Do you hate them? Let me know in the comments, as I do reply to a bunch of them. Remember to subscribe for future special events, as this video was actually made for a special subscriber. So if you would like to make sure you have a chance to be a part of it, click the subscribe button. It means a lot. Anyways, that's all Yuki wrote, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.